Well, we are rolling. Well, good morning, everyone. It is September the 11th, about 9:40. We are just getting ready to cut some beans, get everything pulled out, all the equipment. We're just getting the auto cart pulled out now. Got the semis over there behind the house. Got one combine and header hooked up. Had to do a few last minute calibrations. It's literally just a quarter mile that way from the shop, so Joff and I are going to hop on the Ranger, go over there and field the beans. It's breezy this morning, no dew, so they should be fit to cut. Waiting on Dad to get here. He's doing a few things with the cows, and Luke's, we got a couple last minute things to do to that grain cart, and then we should be ready to go. So let's go test these suckers. What's the consensus?
What?
So what's the consensus?
You got a little time yet.
Little time yet?
I need the sun to come out.
This breeze will help. Give it the old bite test. Yeah. Probably around lunchtime.
Yeah, they were cracking better Friday.
I mean, that one's not bad. I think they'd cut, but the beans themselves need to harden up a little bit. Well, that's the update. I think this is the only beans that will be ready for the next few days. I think these will probably be the next ones. Well, actually, we got 68 acres over there. It's the same as this, but those had fungicide and these did not. So, in a normal year, fungicide beans will be greener longer. So maybe a couple more days, do the 68, then do this 100 acres right here around the shop. But we also do have some corn that we're wanting to get out, so may do that as well. Alrighty, so we're gonna get the drone out, and just for fun, fly it over there to that 68 acres. That's the same number as that 90 we're gonna cut today. Like I said, the 68 has got fungicide on it, so it's most likely gonna be a few more days, or a couple at least. But obviously we could drive over there, but what's the fun in that? So we'll get the drone pulled out here. Have to see if I have any extra memory cards. If not, I'll have to take the one out of this camera and put it in there. But let's get to it. as you guys saw, it actually didn't look too bad over there on that 68. A little bit drier than what I was expecting, so we might go over there, probably tomorrow and see what they look like. But we're just kind of getting everything touched up now. Jonathan was hooking up the secondary grain cart. I'm sorry, primary grain cart. Secondary grain cart's here. He's in there hooking it up now. So get everything ready to go. You saw Luke just got his combine hooked up. Maybe go driving around, do a little scouting. But other than that, we'll probably wait till after we eat, so here in about an hour, and then hopefully get going. Well, we are rolling. Just getting started. Luke got the end rows cut off, and then I was heading on over this way. Dad ran a quick sample into the elevator in town and said they're growing 10.9, which is a little too dry, but that's what happens. Some of the stuff wasn't ready out here. Some of it obviously was, so just do the best that you can, but it should be going pretty good. Haven't done enough to get a good average yield, plus our monitors aren't calibrated yet, but they look like they're doing too bad. So we'll get going around this, and I'll keep you guys up to date. Feels good to be farming again. Nice, decently cool weather. Not crazy hot, about 80 today. Supposed to cool off the rest of the week. So that'll be nice. Maybe get some dews on these beans. If they start getting too dry, get a little moisture back in them. But you can see it's plenty dusty. You can't even hardly see Luke up there. Onward. Well, dumping my first half hopper here while we're getting the rest of the ends cut off. Luke's heading down along there. Yield is doing not too bad, given the circumstances. Like I said, this field did not have fungicide put on it. It's a custom harvested field, so the landowner or the guy who owns it and pays for all the expenses and stuff, such as fertilizer, fungicide, opted not to put fungicide on it, so not too bad for no fungicide and being pretty dry this summer. Still have to calibrate the yield monitor, like I said, but the moisture just said 11, and the dad took that sample into the elevator, said 10.8 or 9, so that's really close. It'd be nice if that was, you'd have to move that, but moving right along. Should get this done, no problem today, unless we have some problems, but other than that, having a good time. Well, I gotta get out, check the ground, make sure we're not throwing anything out the back, and then pump the panels on the combine, make sure nothing looks hot or smells hot or wearing like it's not supposed to. Get down here. Sample in the grain bin looks really, really good. Got a few beans, but not too bad really. Might maybe turn down my fan speed a little bit. Might be blowing a few out the back. Maybe open my sieve just a little bit. There's not really hardly any trash, which is good, but these combines are also really, really good at making clean samples. So that looks pretty good. Go over here. Any broken chains, no hydraulic oil leaks. Get all dusty. Yeah. Everything looks good up there. Okay. Not too bad. Pretty happy with that. It's always nice when you don't have to do much adjustment. But we'll get going here, see what my adjustments do. Well, to make those small adjustments that I was talking about, hit this button right here, slow the fan down a little bit. You see it pop up, see 1020, 1010. Let's go down to 990-ish. And then I'll open up the top sieve one notch, 19. And
the wind is out of the southwest, and we always use a 3 or 3.5 degree.
And then once I get this load dumped off, get some
Okay, I'll try to reset something here.
fresh seed up against there, I'll see what my sample looks like. Well, we're going good now. There's Luke. Jonathan and Dad are getting both trucks and both carts, I think, both carts moved over down here. Few little green spots, but that's not too bad. Kind of bump up the moisture a little bit, which will be good. As you can see, grain tank doesn't have too many butter beans in there. Looks pretty good after I did those adjustments. Might slow down. Maybe not. Not too many splits. I was gonna maybe slow down my rotor speed, but I think it's all right. And not too many right here, but you guys can see there's actually some weeds out there. And that we were just putting on that this summer was so dry that the chemical didn't have a very good kill on the weeds, mainly the stuff that gets resistant to weeds. So not too bad though, just some big stemmy ones, nothing with too big of leaves, but these newer combines, unlike the older ones, will just go right through it and spit it right out the back. So that's not a problem there. I don't know if you can see, there's a little yellow spot right there is what I'm talking about, but going well. The yield keeps going up, which is good. Can't imagine these yield monitors being too far off from last year. So it's quite exciting. I think Kashaya and our new baby Josie are going to be out here sometime this afternoon, so that'll be fun. Be the baby's first combine ride. But we're having a great time. Here comes the long days and not so much sleep. Just running one cart so far. Should be able to stay caught up. Won't be any lines at the elevator. And Dad will be able to stay caught up with both trucks, so we're not too far. But if not, we'll just go get the other cart. That's what we got for it. Not gonna lie, I am starting to get more and more impressed with these beans. The average has jumped up about 10 bushels since we started going around the edge. Like I said, it's not calibrated, but it'll be within no more than 5 off either direction. And they didn't look that great.
267.5 on this one, John.
They didn't look that great from the road, but once we got away from the road and the other field edges, it's really starting to pick up. It just ticked up another bushel on the average. Like I said, I'm impressed. No fungicide, hot, dry summer, pretty good. It's a Bex 2997. So first year for planting some Bex beans. We planted a little bit of Bex corn last year, and then did a decent chunk of Bex corn this year. And we used to plant about 5 different brands of seed. Now we've just moved to DeKalb, Asgrow, and Bex. So I'm liking what we're seeing so far. Maybe gonna eventually, hopefully, start moving more towards the Bex, just because we like how they do things. And last year their numbers actually beat the proven DeKalb. So hey, you go with what's best, right? But I know you guys are probably wondering, hey, well, what's you making? Well, I'll give you a hint. It's anywhere between 100 bushels, yes, 100 bushels, and about 70, 65 maybe. But once we get these monitors calibrated, we'll get more exact. But 65 bushel to 100 bushel is pretty good. We're somewhere right in there. Maybe higher, maybe lower than the median of that, but oh well. Looks like the guy who owns this is sitting at the end of the field watching. He used to get the combines and ride, but he's getting a little older, so he just sits in his truck now. But doing good. Dad took the first load in, so we'll see if average moisture changed on that any. Jonathan's in the cart. I think Becca was riding with Luke, but not anymore. We'll see how things turn out here in a couple hours. cross auger shut off. Probably could have fit the rest of the hopper in there, but. And for those of you who don't know, cross auger shut off, I can shut off the auger that's unloading the hopper into the main unload auger, and that way the main unload auger can finish emptying out. That way they don't have a bunch of extra weight in there. And of course we always fold them up, but it still helps not have that extra weight in there and fold it up. Helps wear and tear on things. Just sitting the first load of the elevator, moisture ended up being a little bit higher at 11.7, which is good. And Jonathan got the cart scales calibrated, so then we should be able to start calibrating these yield monitors. He said it was within 1% of what it was last year, or within 1% of the weight that the elevator said, so that's pretty good for my opinion for having setting all wear long in summer. But yield average is about the same, so pleased. We're stopped here on the end, do some quick calibrations, getting totally emptied off. Then Jonathan will tell me how much, and I'll punch it in there. And the wife just showed up, so that's good. Let this run till she's completely empty. That'll be good, and we'll see what Jonathan tells me. Said that task I did 10,320 pounds. See how close the monitor was, and we'll type in actual, and it'll adjust, and that'll get us pretty close. Probably do one more, probably not today. 2 more maybe.
9,400.
Okay, so I was almost 1,000 pounds off. 9,400. So we'll see what that does on this round. Well, we did one round of calibrations, and I think we're going to go ahead and do another one here when I get to the other end of the field. That should get us pretty close, and that bumped the yield up quite a bit. So if these beans actually make what the monitor's saying, we'll be real pleased. I finally got some passengers with me, the wife and the baby. Say hello, baby. But yeah, like I said, really impressed so far. No fungicide, dry summer. Hopefully the trend continues. We're just about done. You guys, I don't know if you can see the field edge over there. I don't know, maybe another 45 minutes potentially. So going well. No breakdown so far, which is good. So hopefully,
Okay, you ready?
that keeps going since it's beginning of the year.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. Well, we just got done with this 90 acres here. That's all we're going to do for today. The elevator closes here in about 25 minutes. So Dad's taking off with that truck there is full, and that truck will probably be about, I don't know, half full. I'm going to hop in it, take it in. Everything went well. Yield turned out pretty good. We'll tally up the tickets and see what the final yield is, but I'm pretty impressed with it, I think. Combine monitors should be pretty close, so that'll be good. I'll let you guys know how it turned out when I get back from the elevator. Well, there's Dad dumping there the elevator. They updated a few things. Now we just dangle this fancy little card in front of a scanner, and it knows what truck's pulling up to weigh in and weigh out. Just the first couple trucks that you pull up, you gotta hold up your sign, tell them what farm you're at and whatnot. But this thing speeds things up because you don't have to wait for the ladies at the desk to come up to you whenever you weigh out and punch in all your information. This already has it all done, so that probably speeds things up by, I don't know, 10 seconds every time. So add that up by a bunch of trucks, and that ends up being a lot of time. So I'm going to pull up here and dump. Well, we got done just in the nick of time. You guys can see it's just starting to sprinkle a little bit. It's not going to amount to much, but any more of this, if we were still cutting, probably would have been enough to shut us down. The bean stalks and pods get tough, and then hard on the thresh, and then it gets hard enough to where you can't do anything at all. But luckily we got it done, and it yielded quite well actually, given the circumstances. The combine was right on the money, so we got those, or at least combine I was in got calibrated just perfectly. It's about 10 bushels better than what I was expecting, so that's always good. Luke does have that 68 acres, like I was saying. That's the same number, planted the same day, but it had fungicide, so we'll see. I don't know if it'll cut tomorrow or not. We'll probably check it out. And then we do have 80 acres of corn that we'd like to get out because it had a little disease problem and it's starting to blow over a little bit, really. So it was hand testing about 21 a few days ago, so it should be dried down a little bit more, but I don't know if we'll get to that tomorrow or not. But if we do anything tomorrow, I will be for sure and take you guys along. So I think that's all going to be all for this video. I do appreciate you guys watching. If you would like, comment, and or subscribe, that would be greatly appreciated. It really helps us out here at the channel, gets the algorithm going on YouTube, and then boosts our popularity, which is what our aim is. Get out to more of you people. That way we can show you how farming's done here, at least how we do it in East Central Illinois. So if I don't talk to you tomorrow, I'll see you later. Thanks for watching.